Because all I'm thinking about are the gunfights, the weather. They couldn't grow any food.
Sunrise in the wilderness. The time when
her new husband and other members of the family. It'll be a very crowded stage before all this is over. And here's Secretary Baker.
Okay, George. By the way, we now project that North Dakota is going to go for George Bush. Some of the more novel suggestions we've heard today about a Clinton administration suggest he might even ask Secretary of State Baker to stay on as the Middle East envoy. We'll see how that goes. At any rate, this is not a night necessarily for putting new people in new jobs or old people in old jobs.
Thank you very much.
Let's listen to Mr. Baker. He left the State Department to go back and run this campaign. He did not succeed.
Thank you all. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. 1 minute, please. Thank you very, very much. You know, it's real hell to lose these squeakers, isn't it? I want to tell you that for the past 35 years, I've been fortunate to call George Bush my friend, and I have had the great pleasure of introducing him in almost all of the many different capacities in which he has so ably served this great country of ours. And for nearly 4 years now, I have had the privilege of introducing him as the President of the United States. Ladies and gentlemen, there is only one way to introduce the President of the United States, and that is to say to you, ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
David, to begin with, I cannot imagine a more graceful introduction than the one Jim Baker gave him. This is not the finest moment by any means in Jim Baker's career of organizing and managing political campaigns, but he's in the shadows now. This is time to listen to the President.
You know, as he said, there's only one way to introduce a president. When he comes to an event,
Hey, listen, we got to get going.
the Secret Service comes in and hands you a 3x5 card. On it, it says, ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States. And that's all they want you to say.
Hey. Thank you very much. Look. Thank you so much. Well, there's the way I see it. Here's the way we see it, and the country should see it, that the people have spoken, and we respect the majesty of the democratic system. I just called Governor Clinton over in Little Rock and offered my congratulations. He did run a strong campaign. I wish him well in the White House, and I want the country to know that our entire administration will work closely with his team to ensure the smooth transition of power. There is important work to be done, and America must always come first. So we will get behind this new president and wish him well. And to all who voted for us, voted for me, here, especially here, but all across the country, thank you for your support. And we have fought the good fight, and we've kept the faith, and I believe I have upheld the honor of the presidency of the United States. And now I ask that we stand behind our new president, and regardless of our differences, all Americans share the same purpose, to make this, the world's greatest nation, more safe and more secure, and to guarantee every American a shot at the American dream. And I would like to thank so many of you who have worked beside me to improve America and to literally change the world. Let me thank our great Vice-President Dan Quayle. You know, face of a tremendous pounding. He stood for what he believes in, and he will always have my profound gratitude and certainly my respect. And I would like to salute so many that did special work. Rich Bond up at the RNC, Bob Teeter, who ran the campaign, Bob Mossbacher, our entire campaign team, and they've run a valiant effort in a very, very difficult year. And I also want to salute the members of the cabinet, all of whom have served this nation with honor, with integrity, and with great distinction. And I would like to single out two leaders who represent the ideals of the ideal in public service. Together they've helped lead the world through a period of unprecedented transition. I'm talking, of course, about my National Security Advisor, Brent Scowcroft, and Jim Baker, and my good friend and fellow Texan, our Secretary of State, Jim Baker. Finally, of course, I want to thank my entire family with a special emphasis on a woman named Barbara. She has inspired this entire nation, and I think the country will always be grateful. But tonight is really not a night for speeches, but I want to share a special message with the young people of America. I remain absolutely convinced that we are a rising nation. We have been in an extraordinarily difficult period, but do not be deterred, kept away from public service by the smoke and fire of a campaign year or the ugliness of politics. As for me, I plan to I'm going to serve and try to find ways to help people, but I plan to get very active in the grandchild business and in finding ways to help others. But I urge you, the young people of this country, to participate in the political process. It needs your idealism, it needs your drive, it needs your conviction. And again, my thanks, my congratulations to Governor Clinton, to his running mate, Senator Gore, and my special thanks to each and every one of you, many of you who have been my side in every single political battle. May God bless the United States of America. Thank you very, very much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Again, Peter, George Bush said a couple of months ago, that if he lost, he would spend half of his time in Maine and half of his time in Texas. I don't know where he will stay in Texas. He doesn't have a house there.
Well, he has a plot of land there. It's interesting looking at Mrs. Bush, David, because some people who know the Bushes very well believe that she saw this coming some time ago, and though she's always stood firmly at her husband's side as a political wife, that a part of her is glad to have George Bush back. This is not the first time he said he was going to get active in the grandchild business. But politics, as we all know, is an unsentimental business, and it's not going to be very long before people begin to ask, where did the Republican Party go wrong? Did it go wrong at the convention? Was it Bush that lost, or was it Clinton who won? Was it a bad campaign? Was it a bad economy? Did the president start too late? Did he campaign too little? Did he miss opportunities? He's been already criticized from certainly the more conservative wing of the Republican Party for being slow to respond to the storm warnings about the economy, and that he seemed, as one of them said, reluctant to sail into the political fray. As I said, it's an sentimental business. One thing about George Bush and Bill Clinton, they have always said they personally liked each other. I think we've always had the impression that George Bush and Ross Perot in particular didn't lose any love between one another, but they worked together, for example, in education. And there is the president saying all the right things tonight, promising to get behind the new president, appealing to the young people to become involved. And now here is Vice-President Quayle and his wife, who many people have seen as doing better in this political campaign, in some respects even than President Bush, laying down his markers for 1996.
Bush's little speech, I thought, was the perfectly polite speech.
Thank you. No, thank you.
There's no question that in this election campaign, he has been there every step of the way for the president. Campaigned ferociously for his re-election. I wonder if he's surprised.
I have just a few minutes ago, I spoke to Governor Clinton, and I congratulated him. No, tonight is Bill Clinton's night, and I congratulated Bill Clinton, and we must all pull together now. He is going to be the President of the United States for the next 4 years. He deserves our congratulations. He ran a good campaign. He ran a tough campaign. If he runs the country as well as he ran his campaign, we'll be all right. My friends, these last 4 years, I've had the privilege to serve with one of the most outstanding individuals I've ever met, George Bush. He is one of the most honest, decent, caring individuals that I have ever met. Marilyn and I count the President and Barbara Bush as special friends, and the two of them have done a lot for America. My friends, tonight we have everything to be proud of, even though it's not a victory, because history will record the great accomplishments of this administration. We did win the Cold War. America is stronger and safer than ever before. And this president rallied the world in the first post-Cold War crisis to make sure that aggression would not stand. My friends, Marilyn and I... My friends, Marilyn and I, we have had 16 great years. First as congressman, then as senator, and the last 4 as vice president of the United States. And I have loved every single minute of it. The two of us, we got into politics because we thought we could make a difference. And we have made a difference, and we will continue to make a difference. I've always stood up.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dan.
I have always stood up for what I believe in. And I will continue to stand up and to speak out for what I believe.
Well, you can take that as a clue if you want. I'll continue to stand up and speak out for what I believe.
Tonight, my friends,
Dan Quayle, who the next campaign begins, the campaign for the Republican nomination 4 years hence, begins with Dan Quayle, among others, and Jack Kemp, all eyeing each other over the next 4 years. But he says very graciously there about Bill Clinton, if he runs the country as well as he ran his campaign, then we, the country, will be all right. And he makes the point, as he's made so many times and so devotedly on the campaign trail this year, that history will record the accomplishments of the Bush-Quayle administration. Talks again about foreign policy. There will continue to be the eternal debate about who really won the Cold War, whether it was the Bush administration or whether Mikhail Gorbachev contributed.
The first decision that Bill Clinton made after getting the nomination, securing it, was to select this man as his vice president, and it was one of the best decisions that he could have made, it turns out. They were more than the sum of their parts. Tipper Gore and Hillary Clinton were a natural team as well. And they introduced a new style to American presidential politics, two young men who went to the old-fashioned bus and captured the fancy of the country. Both couples have lived virtually all of their married life in politics. Al Gore, born in Washington, D.C., the son of a distinguished senator, served in Congress after having served in Vietnam. Bill Clinton and Hillary met at Yale Law School. He persuaded her to come to Arkansas and join him there. They both taught at the University of Arkansas Law School. And then he began his political career running first unsuccessfully for Congress, then successfully for Attorney General, then elected governor at the age of 34, defeated, and then successfully for Attorney General, then elected governor at the age of 34, defeated, and then returning to be elected altogether 5 terms. Now in his home state, he stands before them, the President-elect of the United States, the 42nd.
My fellow Americans, on this day, with high hopes and brave hearts, in massive numbers, the American people have voted to make a new beginning. This election is a clarion call for our country to face the challenges of the end of the Cold War and the beginning of the next century. To restore growth to our country and opportunity to our people. To empower our own people so that they can take more responsibility for their own lives. To face problems too long ignored, from AIDS to the environment, to the conversion of our economy from a defense to a domestic economic giant. And perhaps most important of all, to bring our people together as never before so that our diversity can be a source of strength in a world that is ever smaller, where everyone counts and everyone is a part of America's family. I want to begin this night by thanking my family, my wife, without whom I would not be here tonight, and who I believe will be one of the greatest first ladies in the history of this republic. here. I also want to say a special word of thanks to our daughter for putting up with our absence, for supporting our effort, for being brave in the face of adversity, and for reminding us every day about what this election is really all about. I want to thank my mother, my brother, my stepfather, my mother-in-law and father-in-law, my brothers-in-law, and my sister-in-law who carried this campaign across this country and stuck up for me when others were trying to put it down. I love them and I thank them. I want to thank the people of this wonderful small state. Time after time, when this campaign was about to be counted out, the Arkansas travelers exploded out of this state around the country to tell people the truth about what we had done here together, how we had pulled together, what we believed in, and what we could do as a nation. I had the best staff and cabinet you can imagine. They kept this state together, and even when we weren't here, we continued to lead the country in job growth, in keeping taxes and spending down, and in pulling the people of Arkansas together to show what we could do if the nation pulled together and moved forward too. I want to thank the people who are in that infamous group, the FOBs, the Friends of Bill and the Friends of Hillary. No person who ever sought this office was more aided by the friends of a lifetime, and I will never forget you. I want to thank the people in the new Democratic Party, headed by our chairman, Ron Brown, the new members of Congress, the new blood, the new direction that we are giving. And finally, I want to thank the members of my brilliant, aggressive, unconventional, but always winning campaign staff. They were unbelievable. And they have earned this. I want to say, if I might, a special word of thanks to two people who lost their lives in the course of this campaign, without whom we might not be here tonight. Our friends Paul Tully and Vic Razor, our prayers are with them. They're looking down on us tonight, and they're awful happy. Not very long ago, I received a telephone call from President Bush. It was a generous and forthcoming telephone call of real congratulations and an offer to work with me in keeping our democracy running in an effective and important transition. I want all of you to join with me tonight in expressing our gratitude to President Bush for his lifetime of public service, for the effort he made from the time he was a young soldier in World War II to helping to bring about an end to the Cold War, to our victory in the Gulf War, to the grace with which he conceded the results of this election tonight in the finest American tradition. Let's give Mr. Bush and his family a hand. I heard tonight Mr. Perot's remarks and his offer to work with us. I say to you, of all the things that he said, I think perhaps the most important that we understand here in the heartland of Arkansas is the need to reform the political system, to reduce the influence of special interest and give more influence back to the kind of people that are in this crowd tonight, to the tens of thousands, and I will work with him to do that. And finally, let me say how profoundly indebted I am tonight, beyond the folks at home, beyond the wonderful people who worked in this administration, the Lieutenant Governor and others to keep our government going, beyond all the others, I have to say a special word of thanks to my magnificent running mate, Senator Al Gore, and his family. I want to tell you that Al and Tipper, Hillary and I have become friends. I admire them for what they stand for. They're enjoyable to be with. They believe in our country. Al Gore is a man of almost unparalleled combination of intelligence, commitment, compassion, and concern to the people of this country, to our obligation to preserve our environment, to our duty to promote freedom and peace in the world, and together we're going to do our best to give you a new partnership for a new America. I want to thank Al's children, his brother-in-law, and his wonderful parents. They made about as many votes in some states as we did. I think we carried every state that Senator and Mrs. Gore campaigned in. Their percentage was the best of all. I want to say that we have established a partnership in this campaign that we will continue into this new administration. For if we have learned anything in the world today, it is that we can accomplish more by teamwork, by working together, by bringing out the best in all the people that we seek, and we will seek the best and most able and most committed people throughout this country to be a part of our team. We will ask the Democrats who believe in our cause to come forward, but we will look too among the ranks of independents and Republicans who are willing to roll up their sleeves, be a part of a new partnership, and get on with the business of dealing with this nation's problems. I remind you again tonight, my fellow Americans, that this victory was more than a victory of party. It was a victory for the people who work hard and play by the rules. A victory for the people who feel left out and left behind but want to do better. A victory for the people who are ready to compete and win in the global economy but who need a government that offers a hand up, not a handout. That is what we offer, and that is what tomorrow we will begin to work to provide to all of you. Today, the steel worker and the stenographer, the teacher and the nurse had as much power in the mystery of our democracy as the president, the billionaire, and the governor. You all spoke with equal voices for change, and tomorrow we will try to give you that. You can trust us to wake up every day remembering the people we saw in the bus trips, the people we saw in the town meetings, the people we touched at the rallies, the people who had never voted before, the people who hadn't voted in 20 years, the people who had never voted for a Democrat, the people who had given up hope. All of them together are saying, we want our future back, and I intend to help give it to you. I say to all of those who voted for us, this was a remarkable coalition for change. Many of you had to put aside this or that personal ambition to be a part of a broad, deep commitment to change this country. I ask you to keep that commitment as we move from election to governing. We need more than ever, for those of you who said, let's put the public interest over personal interest, to keep it right there for 4 years so we can turn this country around. I say to all those who voted for Mr. Bush or Mr. Perot, those who voted for the president, those who voted for Ross Perot, I know you love your country too. I ask you to listen to the voice of your leaders. I ask you to join with us in creating a reunited states, a united country with a new sense of patriotism to face the challenges of this new time. We need your help too, and we will do our best to deserve it. When we seek to offer young people the opportunity to borrow the money they need to go to college and the challenge to pay it back through national service, when we challenge the insurance companies, the drug companies, the providers and the consumers, the government to give us a new health care system, when we offer those on welfare new opportunity and the challenge to move to work, when we ask companies to take the incentives we offer to put American people to work and export American products, not American jobs, all of this is a part of a new patriotism to lift our people up and enable all of us to live up to the fullest of our potential. I accept tonight the responsibility that you have given me to be the leader of this, the greatest country in human history. I accept it with a full heart and a joyous spirit. But I ask you to be Americans again, too. To be interested not just in getting, but in giving. Not just in placing blame, but now in assuming responsibility. Not just in looking out for yourselves, but in looking out for others, too. In this very place, 1 year and 1 month ago today, I said, we need more than new laws, new promises, or new programs. We need a new spirit of community, a sense that we're all in this together. If we have no sense of community, the American dream will continue to wither. Our destiny is bound up with the destiny of every American. We're all in this together, and we will rise or fall together. That has been my message to the American people for the past 13 months, and it will be my message for the next 4 years. Together, we can do it. Together, we can make the country that we love everything it was meant to be. I still believe in a place called hope. God bless America. Thank you all.
Bill Clinton, a new timbre in his voice now that he's President-elect of the United States.
Now, I would like to ask Senator Gore to come up here and say a few words as we begin our new partnership for a new country. Please welcome him to the platform.
Thank you, President-elect Bill Clinton. For Tipper and me and our 4 children, this has been an extraordinary journey. I want to, first of all, thank Bill and Hillary and Chelsea, knowing of all the sacrifices they have made and the hardships they have endured. And I would like to thank the person who is most important in my life, Tipper Gore. To our four children, Corinna, Kristen, Sarah, and Albert, to my parents, Albert and Pauline Gore, and to my brother-in-law, Frank Hunger, I can never express the thanks that I feel in my heart. This has been a time of discovery, a time of restored dreams and renewed hope, a time when the strength and promise of America has revealed itself, poised to meet the challenges of a new day. None of this could have been possible for me without the people of the state of Tennessee, and I want to thank them from the bottom of my heart. I also want to thank the wonderful men and women on the staff who have helped us secure this victory, and I want to say to all of you who have helped us reach this moment that I look forward to the high challenges of national office, and I consider it a matter of tremendous honor and pride to work in behalf of Bill Clinton to be successful in leading this nation toward a new and brighter future. Bill Clinton spoke sensibly and honestly to the American people. As the attacks against him became more and more desperate, he remained calm. He believed in the American people and kept faith that hope would indeed triumph over fear. Bill Clinton won because he was willing to lose. He refused to mislead voters. He stuck to his beliefs. He asked for your vote by challenging you to make America better. Where I come from, we have a name for that. It's called character.